Well, we begin tonight at 4 with a meeting of the Indiana-Illinois Boundary Adjustment Commission.
This is a group that's exploring the possibility of several rural Illinois counties annexing and officially becoming a part of the state of Indiana. Illinois residents becoming Indiana residents. It's hard to imagine. Jenny Webster joins us now with how likely this is to happen. And we were talking about what the state of Indiana would look like. I mean, all these like fragments and roots if this were to occur.
Yeah, the map is a little kind of strange looking, and honestly, it is very unlikely that this does actually happen. But this is the first time the commission has had time to consider it. This was their first meeting, so they have to consider and recommend it. Then it needs approval from the Indiana General Assembly, the Illinois legislature, which hasn't even passed a bill to join the commission. And then the U.S. Congress has to sign off on it too, so a lot of steps there. But it all comes down to politics. The 33 Illinois counties highlighted in yellow have voted to explore separating from the state. They don't want to be tied to Chicago, and they say it's Democratic politics. They say Indiana's Republican politics more closely aligned with downstate Illinois voters and favor Indiana's lower taxes and regulations. But one woman who gave testimony today says it's not just those 33 counties. Look at this map. She says 70 Illinois counties have separation committees in place and want to leave the state.
Indiana would have a much bigger state to govern with a lot more income. So we would end up with a powerhouse of a state instead of just another Midwest state. Okay,
so we talked about this earlier. If you're looking at this map thinking, this looks just a little bit weird, some of those counties don't even touch Indiana. The commissioners essentially questioned that same thing today. Don Leahy from White County says it would be impossible to have counties scattered like this, touching Missouri, touching Iowa, instead of actually Indiana. He did float the idea of using the time zone approach that we have, so where contiguous counties can decide to change a time zone. It would kind of be the same thing for changing states, but the commission did not commit to anything today or really kind of share where they stood on the issue. And it sounds like they're going to be meeting again sometime after the new year.
Yeah. All right, Jenna, thanks so much. Good topic of conversation for sure.
Yeah. All right, and new today, it appears redistricting may be a no-go here in Indiana. A spokesperson for the Senate President Pro Tem told us Senate Republicans do not have the votes to pass it.
Indiana Senate President Pro Tem Roderick Bray was part of the talks last week with President Donald Trump, and they discussed redistricting in the state of Indiana. So far, only a handful of Republican lawmakers have publicly come out and stated their position. The governor says he will only call a special session if he's sure that lawmakers are behind creating a new map. Politico reports said he was planning to call one soon. A person who Politico did not name, who has knowledge of the discussion, said the governor was, quote, inclined to call a special session to redo the state's map as early as next week. Democrats categorize this as a power grab.
The pretrial conference in the case for Fox Sports analyst Mark Sanchez was held today. And it was only for attorneys. All of this comes almost 3 weeks after Sanchez's alleged role in a stabbing attack in downtown Indianapolis. He's facing a felony battery charge after police say he put a 69-year-old man in the hospital following a fight. The victim has also filed a civil lawsuit against Sanchez and Fox Sports. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears told 13 News if Sanchez is convicted of the level 5 felony charge, he could face 1 to 5 years in prison.
Well, there is a chill in the air right now, and it comes with the cough, cold, and the flu. Ella Rhodes went to find out what we can expect health-wise and virus-wise and sickness-wise this season.
Yeah, Ella joins us now. We've already had some coughs and some sniffles around here, Ella.
Yeah, I know I've been sniffling quite a bit, but I did learn a lot today. One, we are expecting to see a pretty strong flu season, so that is something good to know. Now, local physicians and experts also told us when it comes to tracking the flu that the government shutdown and cuts at the CDC do play a role in tracking. So while the flu can be unpredictable, they're expecting a strong season across the country. An IU physician told us in the last 2 weeks he's seen 3 cases, which is higher than average for it being so early on in the season. Now, last year, the Marion County Health Department says 70 people died from the flu, one of the highest numbers on record. Now, Marion County Health Department also says they have a strong relationship with the local hospitals to monitor cases, but they use national data to prepare for what's to come. The state health department confirmed to us that the national flu map the CDC publishes weekly won't come out during the shutdown. The last time it was updated was more than a month ago on September 20th. Melissa McMasters with the Marion County Health Department says it is a concern.
The challenge really is that you're going to be drawing on local resources and state resources fairly heavily. So that is kind of the issue. But again, I think that we do, as far as influenza surveillance, we do a good job here locally.
McMaster says smaller counties in the state don't have all the necessary resources, so they rely on the national data. She expects they'll have more of a challenge.
And what were they saying about flu shots? Because this is typically the time of year that we can show the surge, show where it is in Indiana compared to the rest of the country, and you can plan, because we do know it takes a couple weeks for it to have a protective effect.
Exactly. So it takes around 2 weeks. So they said the sooner you can get your flu shot, the better, so you can have that immunity. Now, while you can still get the flu, if you do get the flu shot, it will just lessen the severity of your symptoms. So that's why they really suggest getting it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and you're kind of explaining how it works too. You can still get sick, but the point is to keep you out of the hospital and safer.
That's
ultimately.
right. Good point, Felicia.
Thank you so much, Miss Ella. All right, let us talk weather, because I am just still in shock when the wind went all into my sweater today, and I didn't understand why the wind was inside of my sweater. I didn't invite it.
It did cut through. It's a cool, not a terrible view outside.
I will say
cloudy.
for much of the day we were in the 40s. We've had some late day sunshine, so going out to your car is going to feel a little different than this morning. So I don't know if it's going to make up for the whole day though, Felicia.
Yeah.
We'll try, my friend. Double nickels right now in Indy with this little surge of late day sun. How about Bainbridge? Boy, beautiful sky there with just the clouds that are finally breaking apart in some areas. You see 55 there in Noblesville, 45 in Connorsville. Yeah, it was for a lot of the day, and you can still see the 40s holding on there. Anderson and Marion, Peru, where that blanket of clouds still remains holding on. But you can see it's a slow progress, but it's happening. And from west to east, we're going to continue to see the clouds thin out, and what we're doing essentially is taking the blanket off of the bed tonight. Okay, so that means we're going to have temperatures much colder than we had this morning. There are the 40s here. This is all being driven by this system up to our northeast, and that cold flow over the Great Lakes. And this is textbook lake effect season right now. This is rain showers that we're showing you on radar. Not long from now, it'll be snow showers, but it's rain right now. As I mentioned, though, that blanket's starting to move away. These are frost advisories and freeze watches. The frost advisory is for tonight. Areas will be in the middle, if not lower 30s. So we do expect we'll have our first frost of the season in some spots. Much more likely it happens tomorrow night. It'll be a colder night. I'll have more on that in a little bit. I want to get you updated on the roadways here. At noontime today, we had a semi that was flipped over, and it still looks like they're doing some repair work. The lanes are all open, and this is 70 out near High School Road, near the airport. And then we've got our daily parking lot here. This is 65 southbound here in downtown. Other than that, it's just typical slow go, volume beginning to pick up, so delays are beginning to pick up. We will keep an eye on it. Looks like we might have a new accident there on the east side. Have more on that and a little adjustment to your weekend forecast. I think you might like it. We'll see you with the 7-day here in just a little bit.
All right, Shawnee, thanks so much.